All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Cageside Live. My name is JD Law. Kind of a solo show today. Nothing too crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's Christmas week. A lot of people are busy doing their thing. God damn, dude, it's been a long ass day, bro. So I'm just gonna kind of wear my hat however I want to today. Let's go sideways here. No, I don't want that. I'm a grown ass man, but still. All right. Welcome to the gentleman Cageside Live. I'm JD Law doing our thing tonight. Quick little show. Just shoot shit with you guys. Oh, what up, Kairos? Dang, with the capital letters. What's up, dude? Good mood? Of course, we'll talk about UFC Vegas 66 and Sean Strickland and Jared Cannonier and all that, mess that happened in the main event with the judges. And then, of course, Bellator Rizin. Whatever else comes up. It's gonna be like a live chat show more. So the more you guys talk, the longer we go. So shooting here for about 45 to an hour. We'll see what it does. But let's talk about UFC Vegas 66 real quick. God damn, I can't even. There it is. Cool. Main event, Jared Cannonier against Sean Strickland. Why doesn't Cannonier have a number next to him? You think he would have one? But anyway, all right. Taking on Sean Strickland, of course. Let's start off with the prelims here, because actually, for the first time in a while, the prelims were okay. But first fight of the night, Sergey Mozarov against Jordan Newsom. Newsom just couldn't get anything going. Mozarov just had him. Like, I can't even explain exactly how the fight went, because it was one of those, like, okay, we're starting off with some little quiet ones. And then David Dvorak takes the L to Manel Cop. I thought Cop was going to knock him out. That dude's scary because he waits. The time you see Manel knock anybody out, he doesn't celebrate. He just stands there like, all right, cool, that happened. Like, very much act like you've been there before, right? Then Renat Fakhretdinov handled Brian Battle. Brian Battle can do anything but takedowns. He'd get back up and get taken right back down, control on the ground. It was kind of crazy to see how hard he got beat. Then Rafa Garcia got the nastiest cut. Apparently, I think I read somewhere it was an artery that got hit, and that's why he bled like crazy. I mean, my shot that had blood on him, and it wasn't his, but Rafa had to go, just beat him or wow, overcome a bunch of adversity just to win that fight. Oh, this was good. That Andre Muniz against Brandon Allen for February 25th. That's a banger. And I'm going with Andre. That dude's a killer. Then Cody Garbrandt against Julio Arce for UFC 285 March 4th. That's going to be kind of crazy, because how much more can Cody Garbrandt have? Like, how much more does he have left in the tank that he could actually, make a serious, I don't know, even run for the title, because you can't even, take that dude serious to run for the title. But, how much more does he have left to actually do? If Arce knocks him out, it's over. You got to go home at that point. Santiago, how you doing, man? Marvin Vettori against Roman Dolidze for UFC 286. That's a tough fight. That's a tough fight for both men. But Roman's, must be super confident in himself, because Marvin's not an easy out. That guy's going to put the pressure on, try to take you down completely. They're totally, or the whole time, try to take it down, put you on the fence, beat you up to the body. It's going to be a fun one. All right, next fight up, Said Nurmagomedov against Said Yakub Ramanov. Said beat him, submitted him, and still was disappointed in his own performance. That tells you exactly what Said, believes his ceiling is. Then, Jake Matthews got dropped like 3 times, and got dropped nasty. That right hand kept finding a home for Matthew. So now we move on for Matthew here. Jake seems to have these up and downs, and after that last knockout, he fell in love with his hands. And he threw down with Matthew. I thought he should have been, fighting more for takedowns, but that didn't work out. And then Corey McKenna, pretty much a perfect, performance against Shion Blismus. Then the main card kicked off with Mikhail Oleksiy. This dude gets like angry when he wins. You ever notice that, Mikhail? He got the TKO win after he was getting, kind of hand a little bit beat up by Cody. He got the knockout. But that dude always looks mad, like he's like he always has a chip on his shoulder. This is a fight that I was bummed out about because I didn't want either guy to lose. Bobby Green was like picking Drew apart, but Drew Dober got that knockout power and a crazy chin. I put up a clip from the pre-fight media day stuff on TikTok, and all anyone talks about in the comment section, that case I press on TikTok, by the way, all anyone talks about on there is his chin and how like it's not even like human. Oh, this says Amanda Ribas against Viviane Araújo for UFC 285. Great matchup, tough fight. Holly Holm against Yana Kunitskaya. Are we done? As long as it's not a main event, I don't care. But man, Holly Holm just somehow gets these these like main event spots. Like for years, she's been like getting main event spots for no reason, right? So I'm hoping it's not a main event, but it's San Antonio, so somewhat close-ish to New Mexico, I guess. I don't know. Right. Matthews might need a 165-pound class. Yeah, maybe. Jeez. Some of these fighters have to get some wrestling classes in 100%. Good fight, great comeback for Drew. 100%. Look, Bobby was picking him apart, piecing him up. And Drew was just swinging heavy, just trying to, hit, home run knockouts, and then got one. So I felt bad. And Dober has a titanium chin. I felt bad for Bobby because he was fighting the perfect fight, and he just got caught. That's what happens when you fight Drew Dober, though. It's not an easy fight for anybody. Julio also might get Garbrandt by submission. He might knock him out. Everyone was knocking Cody out. That chin's not there anymore. Now, we can agree with that, right? We can agree with that? That chin's not there anymore? Like it's over? Like that dude's not taking shots anymore, surviving, just throwing and throwing stuff back. That dude's, in my opinion, his chin's done. All right. Then next fight up, Alex Caceres against Julian Rosa. That was nasty. He hit that head kick the same way Leon Edwards did it to Usman, and it landed perfectly, beautifully. He had the performance of the night on that one. So, man, big things for Bruce Leroy. Every time we think that dude's done and out, he's like, I'm still here. Then Amir Albazi takes out or defeats Alessandro Costa. I believe it was decision win, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken on that one, actually. Yeah, TKO, third round. That's right. He did finish him in the third round. All right. But Amir Albazi is one of those underrated guys in the flyweight division. We'll see what he does. Now, Arman Saryukian, do you need to give Arman somebody that's like crazy good? Because like the fact that he held off his Magulov as best as he could, or as much as he did with the takedowns. I mean, he got 7 of his own. Sorry, it's the other way around. Arman's the takedown guy. Demir couldn't do anything about it. Arman decided where the fight was going to be and won the fight, obviously. Then the main event. What do you guys think of the main event? Who won? In the comment section, put who you think won before I tell y'all who I think won. I mean, obviously, Jared Cannonier got the decision win, but those scores are crazy. Garbrandt didn't face a hitter until he faced Dillashaw, to be honest, because he fights angry at times. Well, yeah, dude. Cody Garbrandt's like that dude. And then he won the title that way, mind you. You know what I mean? He won the title that way. He fought TJ, who is as skilled, if not a little more skilled and a little quicker, and is normally like he fights TJ. There's a lot of stories about TJ in the gym, obviously, right? Talk about TJ gets dirty in the gym and all that sort of stuff. TJ's not going to get intimidated by someone that's fighting emotional and all that. So I don't know. Cody, I don't know. Just to me, Cody's just he's kind of done. I don't know. I'm not one of those guys that's going to tell a fighter to retire, because I think I'll say it sometimes, but man, I wish they would retire, but I'll never be like, oh, they need to retire. I'm like, I wish they would, just because I don't want to see them get beat up. But I'll never be like, they need to retire because and all sort of stuff. I really like just kind of like, for example, like Bigfoot Silva. I wish he would, man, but that man's gonna keep taking fights. If you're gonna pay him, he'll take it. Bruce Leroy did it. There you go. I thought Strickland did enough. Sean, yeah. Who was it? Oh man, I can't remember the fighter that said it. Otis, you might know. But someone actually said you can't talk like a lion and fight like a kitty or something like that. That was so, to me, accurate, because Sean Strickland talks wild stuff. I mean, his pre-fight stuff, like, okay, so behind the scenes stuff, right? If the UFC will send out links and downloads to their media day stuff, right? And usually at the end of the night, like late, and they'll send out links to it so you can download it and post it on your own stuff, and that's great. But they didn't send Sean's. They posted it on their YouTube, so it's there. You can watch the whole thing. But man, he was saying some wild shit, and so everyone's scared of Sean Strickland because he's crazy, or he comes off as crazy. But then he gets in the ring and all, just jab, and mind you, it works, right? But he's not knocking anybody out. It's like jab, 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 and then if you open up a lot or you start taking chances because you're getting tired of getting popped in the face with a jab, he'll throw some heavy. But Jared Cannonier, you're not going to knock Jared Cannonier out that way. So Odie Osborne, thank you, Otis. Odie Osborne said that shit. I was just like, yo, that's so accurate. I had Jared winning. Very, 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 very slightly winning. Off the damage, not the volume. Just off the damage because he landed bigger shots and all that. But that's why I'm not a judge, right? If you look at the numbers, like I'm pretty sure if you look at the numbers, Sean probably should have won that fight. 157 to 141 on strikes, 1 takedown for Sean, who, by the way, should have kept doing that. And then a significant strikes, slight advantage. So that's probably why Jared won, because the numbers were pretty even, but Jared landed the bigger shots in the eyes of the judges. So that's the thing to say about, like, for example, guys that have long hair. Obviously, Sean doesn't. But just an example, guys that have long hair, like if they get hit and their head snaps back and their hair goes flying, people say, man, judges will see that. So you got to cornrow your hair and all that. But, look, we've had judge issues for like ever. But this last card where they gave, someone gave Sean Strickland all 5 rounds, something like that. But like Doug Crosby last weekend, where he judged the Sabatello Stouts fight, or Stouts fight, and then what was the other fight that he I can't remember. I think the main or the co-main of the UFC card, but that kind of stuff can't happen. So, we'll continue to bitch and moan about the judges forever, and they'll never do anything about it. Like I have zero faith that the commissions will do anything about the judges, because it's so hard just to get judges to do the damn job. They don't get paid anything. So it's what it is. Kai Kara-France Crash Garbrandt. That was nasty. Kai's a bad dude too. That's the fact that I thought he'd be champion by now, but Kai Kara-France is a bad dude. Jared ended the fight better. That's what I'm saying. So then Sean Strickland took to Instagram to complain about the judges and all that, and he gave Jared props and all that, but honestly, Sean Strickland has better ground game. He should have been taking Jared down repeatedly. You know what I mean? It's not like he's trying to go out there and be exciting. Let's be honest, right? Sean's never really trying to go out there and be exciting. Like people complain about Sean's fights because he just jab, pop, jab the whole time. And, he's really good with his footwork to get just far enough to avoid your strikes. But then Jared started setting him up pretty well and then landing bombs. So he didn't change his game plan at that point. I thought he should have shot it in, gotten takedowns, beaten him up on the ground. We'd be talking about Sean winning that fight and possibly being on the shortlist for a title fight. But now Sean's got to go way back down on the pole and work his way back up. So meanwhile, Jared can fight, whoever just off the win. All right. Let's see what else we got here. So that's UFC Fight Night. What a crazy year. That was the last year. This is the last UFC until January 14th, where we get fuck it. Let's break the fourth wall here. Who do we get? Christ, this is what's this? So there we go. Imavov against Gastelum. Haven't seen Gastelum in a minute. Imavov is a bad dude. He just fought in Paris. I want to say he beat the shit out of somebody. So that's going to be an interesting fight, of course. So that's that. One fight that we lost that I'm kind of bummed out about, and actually came out, I think, today. Someone confirmed it, that UFC 284 lost Robert Whittaker against Paulo Costa. If you talk to Costa, that fight was never actually made. He didn't say shit, right? So he said, I think he said for a while, he said that he didn't actually agree to the matchup or the date or anything, or sign a contract, because he's still working on a new contract with the UFC. It's very difficult. Here's what the UFC does, and we all know it, right? They announce fights, and then people get all excited, and then fighters feel pressure. Oh, sorry. Anyway, fighters feel pressure to sign it and fight, and it works quite a bit, right? I mean, we've heard whispers here of certain UFC officials like putting pressure on fighters and being kind of rough about it. But turns out Costa's not a bitch. He's not going to be like, yeah, you're going to force me. You're not going to force Costa to do anything. So they canceled a fight that was never made, and then that was that. And Costa wrote on Twitter, "Great fights is going down due to lack of negotiation skills. They should stop being petty. I think they're taking it the wrong way. Making fighters unhappy with deals isn't very smart. It's not only me. I remember Francis Ngannou, Sean O'Malley, Mark Hunt, etc. So, yeah. So we'll see. I think Okamoto tweeted out, no troll job. Paul Costa and Robert Whittaker will not fight at 284 in February per sources. Costa has said publicly he's on the final fight of his deal and discussing new contract with the UFC, but nothing's been agreed to in any event. He will not fight in Perth. Sources say at the moment, Robert Whittaker will most likely move to a later date, which Robert Whittaker doesn't care. Bobby Knuckles is not that dude that's going to be like, oh, I'm not fighting at home, all that shit. So, yeah, there's that. All right. If you guys want to talk about anything, just throw it in the chat. We'll shoot shit for a little bit. But not a lot to talk about tonight, not with the UFC and everything. But while you guys do that, let's talk some the next card that I know of. I'm sure there's a few more others, but next weekend, yeah, Rizin 40, Bellator MMA versus Rizin. You got to give it to Bellator for trying things, right? Like the UFC's they're not going to do a co-promotion with anybody ever. Like you can forget that. I know, one championship's like, yeah, the only promotion I'm going to do something like that was the UFC because they're not going to do it. So you one's safe. They're never going to do it. Bellator and Rizin take or Rizin, I don't know how you say it. Let's go with Rizin, I guess. But they take a lot of chances. So this one's out of Saitama Super Arena in Japan, of course, very historic arena. I forget the lady's name who screams a lot. I think she does those cards still, but remember those old Pride cards where like the fighters would come out all at the same time? Like they all like show up in the front together and she's just screaming their names and shit. I enjoyed the hell out of that. But after like the 10th fighter, you're just like, okay, all right. But you know what? That's it. That's a goal of mine to cover a fight in Japan one day. That would be dope. Main event, Roberto Satoshi de Sousa against AJ McKee is going to be a great fight. It's a lightweight fight. AJ moving up from featherweight. Co-main event, Patricio Pitbull taking on Keebler Herbst. Then Sucho Cam against Juan Archuleta. Archuleta's a bad dude. That's going to be a crazy fight. Kyoji Origuchi fighting for Bellator. I believe he's a Rizin guy. I'm not even sure how that works out, but taking on Iro Masa Ogikubo. Let me see if I'm wrong about Kyoji here. I might be wrong about Kyoji. Yep. Well, ish. He's both. He fights them both. It's back and forth. You got to give it to him, man. Origuchi's a bad dude. He's fun as hell to watch. All right, like I'm gonna twist. If you haven't watched Origuchi yet, that dude's fucking must see TV. Johnny Cage, John Dodson in the car, Sho Usami, so on and so forth. Honestly, I believe this is like a 4 a.m. car for the East. I think I'm not even sure, but if you stay up all night, fuck it, why not? All right. Family's all home and everything, so I'm not in my podcast room, which is normally like pretty quiet, but it is what it is. All right, no one throwing subjects out here. I'll keep talking, but I'll probably go for another 10 minutes and call it a night. But let's go ahead and just yap. Okay, so it's been a crazy year for MMA, right? And a lot of big fights, a lot of big events. 22 is like the first year, like 2020. Wow, 22 was the first year that we could seriously say it's been like, we're kind of out of that 20. Yo, this microphone is so good. It picks up the fans from my freaking laptop. It's crazy. Rizin Bellator, December 31st. There you go. I believe for the US it's gonna broadcast on Showtime, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's a $20 pay-per-view too. So there you go. When is the year-end award show? For Keyboard Warriors is next weekend, next Friday. For Cageside is probably this coming Monday or Tuesday. I'll keep you guys in the loop of that, of course. But for those that don't know, Keyboard Warriors is moving over to Cageside Press. So starting first week of 23, myself, Fred Kirby, are going to be doing our show on the Cageside Press. YouTube. So make sure you tell your friends, tell everybody, hit the subscribe button, all that for this and everything. So you guys don't miss out on that. But we're gonna have a lot of fun. 20 minutes says I'll pay 20 for that all day. See, PFL. That's what you should have done. I don't know what the numbers are on PFL, the pay-per-views in their first pay-per-view, obviously, but it can't be great. Like they changed the pay-per-view with a very short notice. They didn't do enough, in my opinion, enough promotion to sell it enough. It was a great success because it was a great card, but no one really was sure it was going to be a great card or not. And the main event being a huge upset was massive, right? All you had, but it was hard to sell a freaking trilogy when it was 2-0 for Kayla as like a chance for her to lose. PFL has no business charging that much. $50? No, they don't. $20, I think, would have done it. Like I think it still would have been hard, but with nothing else on TV that night, that'd have been the move. $20, and let's go with that, right? I thought they would have maybe done a little bit of what do you call it? Done a little bit of research and shit, see what the numbers look like at that point, pre-buys and all this other stuff, and been like, shit, maybe we should do some Black Friday stuff. Because if you guys remember, that card happened the day after Black Friday. Maybe on Black Friday you do, hey, look, cool, we'll do 50% off, right? Knock it down to $25. I think people would have paid $25 for that card. So is what it is. All right. Not a lot to talk about, man. Once you hit this part of the year, there's not a lot of news. I mean, you got Sean O'Malley saying that he turned down an invite to Chechnya with Ramzan Kadyrov, who's the dictator. He does a lot of fucking shady shit. If you don't know about him, Ramzan Kadyrov, you need to Google him and just it'll blow your mind. But a lot of fighters go down there. I've seen Usman, Gaethje, I think Fabricio Verdum, a bunch of fighters have gone down there and hang out with that dude. And everyone always, I forgot the writer's name, Kareem Zidane, something like that. I don't even want to say what outlet he's with because I don't want to like put him with the wrong outlet. But either way, his investigations and stuff like that into stuff like that is really good. So it's he always talks about that stuff like, oh, so fighter went over there and all that stuff, and then what do we expect, right? I'm sure Kadyrov is like not only paying their way over, but he's probably paying them to come hang out with him. Like he's that kind of it seems like to be kind of a crazy guy. Now this last fight, 205 title fight between Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev. And Ankalaev, I think we all thought Ankalaev won, right? And it ended up being a draw. Kadyrov actually came out and like chastised Dana White, which is wild shit to me. He need to do the right thing and gave Ankalaev his belt. Like, dude, you can't do that. Like, I know Kadyrov, in his, he runs everything over there. He wants to give someone the belt, he will, but that's not how that works here. I do think Ankalaev should have won and be MBB champion right now, but then we have the 205 champion over hanging out with Kadyrov too. So it's a lot of wild shit. But I think Sean O'Malley, he was quoted as saying, the guy's a murderer. And it's let's see what we got here. And it's whether it's true. Look, it's we read that it's true, so we'll see. But the whole thing's crazy. And the other thing that they said was that the U.S. State Department or somebody's like aware of connection between that guy and UFC fighters. So I'm super curious if that's going to do anything. Like that's honestly something I'm more concerned with than fighters going down. Look, the connection is there, right? If you've seen fighters, the pictures and all that's there. If the connection is legit, I wonder if any UFC fighters can get in trouble. All right. What else we got? Zion Clark. You guys see that? The wrestler, born with no legs, wins his pro MMA debut. I was watching the clip of it or the video of it. Someone put up the whole video online. And my first thought was, man, you can't kick this dude. Like you can't kick him. His hands are on the mat. Like, what do you do? So he ended up getting I think it's a decision win. I'm not sure. All right. Anything else we got going on? Nate and Connor talking shit again. What else we got? It's kind of it. All right, guys. I guess we'll call it a night on that one. Weidman, if I remember correctly. For the rest, gotcha. All right. His opponent looked like he didn't want to punch him. Yeah. It'd be kind of hard to do that too. So I don't know. Real quick before I go, what's you guys' opinion on Hasbulla? Because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter lately talking about like, I don't know why he's famous and they actually want to smack him. He's annoying, but he's not like I don't hate the guy. I just don't watch him. Like anytime they put him on anything, I'm just like, oh, okay, skip. And honestly, that's what you do, right? As a consumer, if you don't like it, just skip it, move on, change the channel, or whatever. But I always wonder what people think about Hasbullah because I don't even know what I think. I know he's like a podcaster in Russia, I think, or somewhere. But I don't know much about him. All right, let's see what else we got. Gotta forget my breathing here. I got the microphone like on my stomach, but I also like just did like a 3-hour workout, so I'm kind of fucked up right now. Let's see. Oh, Mike Jackson's pressing freaking charges. That is wild. Yeah, he's making his money. Let him do his thing. Mike Jackson pressing charges is kind of fucking crazy. If you guys didn't see it, Jake Shields put out this video himself of him beating up or slapping up Mike Jackson, right? Took him down. What made me laugh the most was like the biggest complaint about Jake Shields that he was a boring fighter in the cage. And he ran up on Mike Jackson and then took him down and with the side control just hung out there for a while. I'm like, oh my God, he still fights like he fights. It's kind of hilarious. But he slapped up Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson comes out and says, I'm gonna, let's see if I can find an article on it. Or a picture at least of Mike Jackson here getting slapped up. But that whole thing's kind of wild, man, because look, I'm not a fan of either guy whatsoever. I think Mike Jackson says some like off the cuff wild shit, to be honest with you guys, and all kinds of stuff. But I don't know exactly what, like what do you do, right? Like what do you do with Mike Jackson if and I'm actually with Jake Shields. Now, allegedly, the UFC PI, the UFC already banned Jake Shields from the PI, and they did ask Mike Jackson if he wants to press charges, and apparently he's going to press charges. Great, whatever. But I've seen a lot of reaction. There's two reactions. One reaction is, and this honestly the one that I had is, okay, cool, I get it. You talk shit, get hit, but hit the person that was talking shit. There's gonna be consequences for you. Like you can't just go around smacking motherfuckers, right? And so while I'm like, all right, cool, they're fighters. Let them figure it out. I'm like, the first thing I thought was like, okay, Mike Jackson's gonna press charges and Jake's gonna have to pay for it, or he's gonna get sued or whatever. The other side of it, people were just like, oh no, fuck this fight. It's just sparring. It's Spartan. It's like, bro, that's assault, dog. You can't just fucking do that. So it's let's see if I can find a fucking picture of it or something. Actually, you know where it is? It might be certain Instagram account. Ooh, where is the search on this shit? Here we go. I'm totally fourth wall on this shit with you guys because I don't on my own tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the damn. Oh, here we go. I'll put it up for you guys so you guys can see it. And what Jake is gonna do? Flag me. Anyway. There you go. So Jake had people with him. That's the only part that didn't seem right. Didn't look one-on-one. No, it wasn't. Like according to Mike Jackson, it wasn't. According to Mike Jackson, he was in there. He was hitting pads with his coach, something like that. First time since he had face surgery after getting knocked the hell out last time out. But according to Mike Jackson, Jake's people circled around him, and then Jake took him down. Now they were saying that whole thing's fucking gross. Honestly, it's just gross. Like Mike Jackson walking around calling everyone, whoever he wants, like white nationalists and Nazis and shit with like, I'm not sure what kind of evidence he has for any of that stuff or what kind of, the reason he says it. I really don't pay attention to him that much. That's one thing. Jake Shields going to smacking the fuck out of him, no, isn't the way to do it. You got to handle it a different way. And like Jake said that he had spoken to an attorney and that he had a real case of defamation suit. Cool. Sue. Don't beat him up. Sue. So, yeah. That's kind of where we're at with that. But no, the other thing I found funny was that Mike Jackson's still on the UFC roster and thus allowed in the PI. That makes no sense to me. Like, dude, come on. So anyway, all right. That's gonna do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back on myself and Fred Kirby will be back on Friday on Keyboard Warriors over at the Keyboard Warriors YouTube for the second and last time before we go. Next week, end of the year award shows. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that. Cagesidepers.com will have its own end of the year picks and stuff like that on there. Jay Anderson is working on that as we speak, and then we'll do our thing. So thanks for hanging out here with me for half an hour. Appreciate y'all. At Cageside Press for everything. I need to start working on these banners, bro. Hold up. Here. Okay, that's not it. Cageside Press on everything, including YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the stuff. Twitch as well. I'll see you later, man. But just hang out with us, man. Hit follow on everything, hit like on everything. All right, 2023 is going to be the year of Cageside Press. Okay, a lot of stuff coming up. So for myself, everyone in the Cageside Press team, we got one more show next week, and then that's it for Cageside Live for 2022, and we'll be back first week of 23. Catch you guys later. Appreciate y'all. Good night. Have a good one.